तुमको कभी जॉनी आइव के बारे में बात हुई है? आर यू हियरिंग द वर्ड फॉर द नेम फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम? हाँ, जॉनी आइव, हाँ, इंसान है भाई। Do you understand the meaning of the word focus? No, you don't. हाँ, तुमको उसका हिंदी में अनुवाद पता है। Meaning of the word focus. What do you understand by the word focus? Concentration, huh? What is then concentration? डीप जाना, ख्यालों में खो जाना। मेरा ध्यान केवल उसी के ऊपर केंद्रित है। Having a यूनिफॉर्म एटीट्यूड तो थोड़ा वेग टर्म हो गया। अरे मेरे को बताने दो, मेरे को बताने दो। Focus, meaning of the word focus. Now, focus is, I'm not talking about the translation of the word. I'm sure everybody understands what does it literally mean. What does it mean to be focused? I named a person Johnny Ive. Johnny Ive was he's still there. He's not was, but Johnny Ive was the closest associate of Steve Jobs. Johnny Ives was the chief designer at Apple. All the products, Apple products, mostly known for their design, है ना? Design language, ergonomics, मतलब कितने आसान है पकड़ने में, use करने में, use as in any aspect of design which includes user interface, which includes the physical aspect, which includes arrangement of parts within the phone. All those things are elements of design. So Johnny Ive was the chief designer at Apple, and because Apple products first priority for them would be design, user interface, layout, and all those things. So he's the one who's responsible for all those things. And because Steve Jobs had a commitment to this design, or quote unquote focus on this design, Johnny Ive has worked most closely with Steve Jobs. And Johnny Ive explains this term focus. So how does he explain focus? What does he say about focus? Apple produced phones. Before that, Apple was producing computers, some products, and we had counterparts in form of Windows computers, Linux computers, laptops had come by that time. And then phones, Android phones had come by that time. So in 2010, for example, now there are Apple iPhone 1 आता है 2007 में. जब आता है तब वो एक revolutionary phone होता है. It has multiple features, buttonless. Nobody had imagined that there would be no buttons in the phone, as in no keypad in the phone. It is new in 2007. It is not new in 2008 or 9 or 10. By that time, many other companies had come up with their own such phones. And all these companies had come up with features not just that Apple was offering, but many other features. आज भी हम ये बात करते हैं जैसे Android के अंदर 50 अलग फीचर्स हैं जो कि एप्पल के अंदर आज तक नहीं है ना? कि आज एप्पल जो है वो विजेट्स लेके आ रहा है और एंड्रॉइड में विजेट्स 2010 से चल रहे हैं ना, वेदर विजेट और क्लॉक विजेट और अलार्म, ऑल दिस थिंग्स. सो एप्पल हैज इन 2009-10 एप्पल, all the engineers in Apple, Johnny Ive, the chief designer in Apple, they approach Steve Jobs and they tell him that Android or competition is coming up with so many features. And we should have these features in our phones, because otherwise our phone will lose its advantage, will lose its unique aspect. Because what is it there that is there in Android what is there that is in Apple that Android phones do not offer? तो सब कुछ है एंड्रॉयड फोन के अंदर और एप्पल जो ऑफर कर रहा है उसके अंदर बहुत कम ऑफर कर रहा है, इसीलिए हमको वो सब फीचर्स इनकॉर्पोरेट करने चाहिए. All their blood vessels, all the veins in their body, all their neurons, they genuinely believe with their heart and soul, they believe that it is the right thing to do. In that instance, in that moment, Steve Jobs tells him, what is it that you have been asked to do? What is it that is your job? Your job is to design. Bring me a better design or improve the design that is there. You have to be focused on the thing that you have been given to you. With all your heart and soul, you believe something else to be right. But that is not what your task is. This is what is focus. Being focused means to make sure that you don't deviate from what your objective is. Even if you believe that something that is, you don't see it as a deviation, but something which is deviating you from the objective, with all your full commitment, with all your belief, that is something that was not assigned to, that is something that you were not supposed to do. This is what is focus. Make sure that you keep on doing those things that you are expected, that you are asked to do, rather than being deviated by those things that you believe are right things, that you think are right things. I'm telling to you about this focus because one, important for your preparation. Second, you said कि सर आप एनडीए के क्रिटिकल क्यों नहीं होते हो? You will read 1000 opinions every day in newspapers. 1000 issues every day in newspapers, in many cases which will, let's say, boil your blood. कहीं पे कुछ हो गया, किसी लीडर ने कोई कमेंट पास कर दिया, कहीं पे कुछ रेप हो गया, कुछ क्राइम हो गया, कुछ भी चीज हो गई, कहीं पे कोई लोग मर रहे हैं, कोई मार रहे हैं, कुछ भी चीज हो रही है. And with all your might, you believe that something that is happening is wrong. You have very strong opinions about those things. Something favorable, sometimes favorable, most of the times, let's say, critical. With all your heart and soul, you believe that yes, this is the just cause. I must have an opinion about this just cause. I must at least speak about this cause. Or I must at least agree to this particular thing that somebody else is doing. Somebody else is opposing. It is my duty that I must oppose what this other person is doing, or I must support what this person is doing. You believe with all your might that yes, this is the right thing to do. In that very instance, you have gotten deviated from your focus. Your objective was, as long as you are studying, your objective is to make sure that you don't deviate from what your focus is, which is to make sure that you are fully committed to your preparation. When you deviate, you dilute your objective, you dilute your ability to achieve your objective. अगर आपको एक्टिविस्ट बनना है तो आप एक्टिविस्ट बनो, एज इन बेटर एक्टिविस्ट बनोगे, लेकिन आप 5 चीज एक साथ नहीं कर सकते हो. कि आपको कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो रहा है उसके ऊपर भी आवाज उठानी है, कहीं कुछ क्राइम हो रहा है वहां पे भी आपको आवाज उठानी, तो आप आवाज उठाते रह जाओगे, एक्सेप्ट अपनी पढ़ाई नहीं कर पाओगे. This kind of dedicated focus is essential for you to be able to have a reasonable chance to succeed in this objective. Please don't take it as that I am saying कि भाई तुम इन्फॉर्म्ड सिटीजन ना बनो और तुम्हारे ओपिनियंस ना हो. ओपिनियंस हर एक व्यक्ति के होते हैं, होने भी चाहिए. इन्फॉर्म्ड ओपिनियन होने चाहिए, होते तो सबके हैं लेकिन इन्फॉर्म्ड होने चाहिए, और एटलीस्ट आप लोगों के तो इन्फॉर्म्ड ओपिनियन होनी चाहिए. But there is nothing that will come out of you boiling your blood, you having fruitless discussion with your friends about political stance, some war, something that goes on, some governance thing. There is nothing that will come out of that. आपको रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी अच्छी लगती है, आपको अच्छी नहीं लगती है, करते रहो 50 घंटे डिबेट इसके ऊपर, कुछ नहीं बदलने वाला है आपके डिबेट करने से. It is expected that you know the reservations, you know the pros and cons of reservation. It is expected that you know, you have an informed opinion about that. Because that is something that maybe, let's say, asked in the exam, maybe, let's say, asked in the interview, maybe asked by some random person to express your thoughts about an issue. And when you express your thoughts, you must come out as a person who has an informed opinion rather than just having one-sided opinion. Merely a top level emotional opinion. आपके पास एक informed opinion होना चाहिए. लेकिन आप अगर डिबेट कर रहे हो इस चीज के बारे में, इस चीज के ऊपर उलझे हुए किसी व्यक्ति के साथ, अपनी रिलेशनशिप खराब कर रहे हो, पहली बात तो रिलेशनशिप खराब कर रहे हो, दूसरी बात उससे कुछ डिस्कशन से निकल के नहीं आ रहा है, आप अपना समय वेस्ट कर रहे हो, यू आर लूजिंग योर फोकस देयर. सो मेक श्योर दैट यू रिमेन फोकस्ड.